Was this like your main kind of ties happening with drum and bass then? Is that where you started having a lot more drum and bass ties by running the club?
Yeah, exactly. And then I also started appreciating it. Before that time, I found it a bit boring. And then by having a monthly drum and bass night, or sometimes even more, I suddenly found out like, hey, I actually really enjoy this genre. And we had Noisia, of course, in Groningen, which I think most drum and bass people do know.
Yeah.
And they also often came to have a beer, and they took Skrillex with them when, because he learned producing very well from them. So he slept on their couch before he was very well known. And Joost, the youngest brother of Thijs from Noisia, he did the monthly drum and bass parties called Submerge, together with Tom, a friend of him. So they always made sure that there was quality lineup with locals, but also flew in artists from the UK. And the entrance was €3. So before 1 a.m. it was for free, and after 1 a.m. it was €3. And still having a full house and being able to pay the artist from that and keep some of the leftovers of €3. So it was a lot of passion involved. And yeah, Submerge was really one of our biggest nights, which also then led to sometimes do a separate party on another location where we, for instance, had Diesel Boy dropping by, or we did Prolex once in Simplon, and I did. Yeah, it was an interesting time for drum and bass. Drum and bass has always been big in Groningen. Also now after COVID, the boys from Bassface, who have been existing since I think 2012, Bassface community, they always sell out and they bring in variety and quality in drum and bass. So there's good movement.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for anybody living under a rock who don't know, Noisia is obviously the greatest drum and bass trio in my eyes that's ever lived, and they obviously put Groningen on the map. That's where they're from, and obviously, being the club there, you had them as regulars there as well, didn't you? And you
Well,
mentioned,
to chill, but once Martijn really helped us out by playing on a Wednesday, which was great because it was midsummer and he felt like, okay, I can play with you guys. So suddenly we had a totally full house, and we at that time we really needed money to pay a new 2,000-liter tank of beer. And in the summer, all the students are going to Groningen. Groningen has 80,000 students among a 240,000 population, and it was tough times. And Martijn played. We had a crazy full house with Noisia for free on a Wednesday, which was insane, you know. And so we were very thankful for them. Also, that Skrillex was playing at their King's Night event, and that he found it okay to play at the after party. We always had after party from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. And that day, the management asked Sonny if he would be open for it, and of course he already had been at our place, and he said yes, it's cool. So that was awesome that we had Skrillex in Subsonic, and we had like 250 capacity, and well, I think that night was around 300 or maybe even more. So it was it was crazy.
and you say your youngest brother was running Submerged with this from Noisia as well, then, so they
And the
worked
youngest
together.
brother of Thijs from Noisia.
Ah, right, okay, so he was actually running events with you as well, then.
Yeah.
Ah, right, excellent. And it ended in 2015. Why did the club shut then? Because obviously it sounds like there's been some legendary nights there. I guess it was a staple of the town of Groningen, wasn't it? It was
Yeah,
really
it was a place where everyone could be himself, and even like 18-year-old girls would come on their own and find people there, and it was a sleazy basement, and not everyone was always super sober, but it was still a kind of very safe environment. So in 2015, the chemistry between me and my business partner was over, and his dad was our landlord. We also had a restaurant together, and the financial constructions were very dodgy. And we started with the three of us, and the other one, who was still a very good friend of me, already in late 2014 decided that it wasn't working out anymore. And from that moment, the collaboration between me and the other guy, also, he was mainly running the restaurant, I was doing the club, and in 2015 it was over. After that, we rejuvenated the concept in a different location with the guy that already with Julian, who quit in 2014. We thought we're going to do this together with a live venue so that there's live acts until 12, and then from 12 to 6 we do the club. And we had a crowdfunding, we made a really cool LED tunnel which on the DMX of the sound could be involved with the music. But in the summer of 2017, the guy who ran the venue said, I'm going to quit, because his live part was totally not taking off. And we were delivering the amounts of bar money that we said we would. But he decided, I'm going to quit. And then we didn't have a location anymore. I just had become 30 at that time. And then I thought, like, hey, maybe it's good. It's time for something new. And my nightclub owner life was over just by being 30, which started when I was late 23. So it was a good moment to make a next step, kind of.